Garrett, who's your last guy here for a buy?
Last guy, I had talked about him in one of my YouTube videos last year. And I remember, and if this was your comment, then, I'm talking to you apparently. But I said that I wasn't in on Drake London last year in a startup because of where you had to take him. He was consistently going between wide receiver 11 and 13 in a startup. I said, that's just too high. I'm going to wait a year, and then I'm going to buy Drake London, because buying him right now, expecting him to be a wide receiver 1 right away, is a tall task with Marcus Mariota as your quarterback. What we saw last year was, that was too tall of a task. He's not quite there yet. But we saw a lot of really good flashes. And now that the price has dipped, and I'm seeing him consistently going in somewhere between, the earliest I saw was late 3rd, the latest I saw was mid 5th. So going in that range of startups, and he's a very acquirable asset, especially in a class where we talked about it, the wide receiver is the most shallow of all of the positions. Deep at quarterback, deep at running back, deep at tight end. Wide receiver is probably the most shallow of all of the groups. One of the things that I saw that especially encouraged me was I had seen, and let's see, of course, now my Twitter reset. I wanted to give the guy credit for tweeting it out. Of course, it all reset my timeline, but I'll give him credit tomorrow on Twitter. But Drake London last year had the second highest target rate out of any receiver, any rookie receiver in history. Second highest.
Wow.
He also had the 6th highest PFF grade of any rookie receiver of all time. Now, PFF hasn't been doing it since like the 80s or anything like that, but still, we've had a lot of good receivers come out in the PFF era. 6th highest. So 2 metrics that tend to be very sticky. Guys that get strong target shares, because I am a firm believer that targets are earned. So a guy that got a lot of targets and a guy that put up a good PFF score shows me that this is somebody that's going to be a very talented wide receiver for a long time. This team is also in a position to potentially draft their future quarterback. We'll have to see how the board shakes out.
Absolutely.
There's no guarantee in that.
Lamar Jackson's been a hot name rumored to go there.
Yep. There's trade rumors. There's free agent rumors. And why wouldn't you? You have Kyle Pitts and Drake London there as a quarterback. That's pretty appealing. Those are 2 young assets. So I do think within the next year, hopefully within the next 2 years, they will get a quarterback upgrade. They will get a legitimate quarterback there. And when that happens, Drake London has a legitimate wide receiver 1 profile. He's got the build. He's got the ability to do things in the red zone. He gets open. Like, he is a legitimate asset at receiver. He's young. He's only in his 2nd year. But similar to what's going on with Kyle Pitts, people were disappointed specifically in the middle part of the year. There were a lot of games in the middle part of the year where it was 1 catch for 9 yards, 3 catches for 29 yards.
Monster first game.
Yeah.
He had monster first 3 games. And then his last 4 games were really good as well. It was that lull in the season. And by that point, chances are, if you had Drake London, you weren't in the playoffs anyway.
No,
so
absolutely not.
So you don't even factor in what he did in the playoffs, because they didn't help your team at all. People forget how talented he is. They forget how much he did as a rookie. And I think he is one of my favorite buys. He's probably the most expensive of all the people we've talked about, but I think more than worth it.
Did he ever earn 12 targets in a game?
I can tell you right now. Yes, he did. Okay. Week 2, he had 12 targets, 8 receptions for 86 yards.
So I think that's what Isaiah Hodgins did week 16. So
he also did it week 13.
Target share, baby.
He also did it week 13.
I was in my back of my head just the whole time.
Prove my point. Target share.
And 11.
Just my whole time.
Darnell Mooney's done very good with target share.
Listen, you could take a list. You could take the picture and put up the picture of every quarterback in the NFL, all 32 teams, 31 teams, take out Atlanta, and their backup quarterback. And you could throw a dart on. Actually, you know what? You could take all 32 teams, 31 teams, and put their backups on the board and throw a dart on there. And odds are it's going to land on a better quarterback than Marcus Mariota from throwing the football. So no matter what you bring into Atlanta, it's going to be an upgrade there. And you're right. Yep. He's a very talented player. It's a reason he went so high in the NFL draft. He had, like Garrett said, I read the same metrics on Drake London after the season, and he's one of my favorite targets in like startups. Or via trade, you're right. If you're going to trade for Drake London, it's going to be expensive. But the down season could put you in position to trade when you're at 1-6 and 1-7, and people are on the new love for the new teams with, again, Quentin Johnson.
I'll say this right now. I would
Burnett.
easily take him over any receiver in this class right now.
I would take him over every receiver in this class right now as well.
Easily. So if you have to give the one, in a 1 QB, if you have to give the 1-3, I would give the 1-3 in a heartbeat to get Drake London.
I would give 1-3 for Drake London as well.
I would even get to, and I'll say keep this in one quarterback. I would be willing to give 2 mid to late firsts.
I will wait to see where Jackson Smith and Jigba goes before I make that determination.
Okay.
That's fair.
And he could be very good as well, but I know Drake London is good. I think JSN will be very good too.
Yeah.
But I know.
And there's
Drake
other good
London's
receivers. I mean, Jalen Hyatt, like you said. I mean, Lance Zierlein, who a guy who I respect an absolute
He's done great.
ton. Yep. Like he's probably my favorite scout out there right now. Has Jalen Hyatt as his number 1 receiver in the draft.
Bold.
Yeah, and I love the he put. If you go on there and check out,
That guy's fast, man. He's super fast.
Check out his Twitter thread. He put a Twitter thread on why Jalen Hyatt is his number 1 receiver today. Today he did it, and he makes some really good points. And go back to the previous class of how you can't teach size and speed.
For the record, though, I said I would give like 2 mid to late firsts to get him.
Yeah.
You probably don't even have to. Drake London, 24 first, not even 23, and a 5th. Drake London and Matt Corral, it's in a super flex, so whatever. But 23 first and 23 fourth. Drake London for James Cook, Chark, and a 2nd. So, I mean, for a young, talented receiver, he's not that difficult to acquire.
It's my favorite move. I've said
meow
right now.
Yeah, I've said this
Before
on the
he gets
show
quarterback.
for 9 years straight, and it holds true today. My favorite thing in Dynasty to do is trade for the guy that got drafted really high in your draft last year, the Drake Londons, the Jameson Williams. Same thing. I'll take Jameson Williams ahead of a lot of these guys, that didn't produce year 1 and people need that year 1 production, and then give a later draft pick for him today, right? Where their value drops. It's a best thing to do for these rookies is wait a year. Wait a year, because 65% of them are going to see value decrease, right? Because everybody wants a new hot shiny toy. So Drake London, I think, is a fantastic buy. If I can get him anywhere for a first 23 first outside the top 3 picks, I'm all over it. Yeah. Super flex, I'd be a little bit more hesitant being top 3. Obviously,
It'd be more like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I want the quarterbacks there. I want, again, I can't wait to see where Anthony Richardson goes, because that dude,
He could go there.
that dude's tape is,
It's fun.
it's fun. It really, I told myself, I have to come away with 1 share of Anthony Richardson in my Superflex leagues. I don't know how I'm gonna come about it. Like, I'm getting 1 share.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what.
If he ends up going top 10, that's going to be tough.
Like, he could easily be like the Lamar Jackson when Lamar Jackson came out. I'm like, yeah, when we made.
Sure.
I remember to this day selling Lamar Jackson to our audience, and kind of using Mike Vick as an example of what he could be, and like why is quarterback 1. And it's funny because it all came true. If you go back and find that podcast and me telling you why you should draft Lamar Jackson and where the value was in Superflex. And same thing, we're like, hey, in Superflex leagues like this, you should take him high.
Yeah.
I know he's a huge risk, but that sure panned out. So love Drake London. Think he's a great buy. Kyle Pitts probably falls into the
Same category. Yep.
There's a league I've been pestering this guy, which I know he won't trade him to me because his team's name is Up Pit Creek. But like, I just make a trade. He denies everyone. I just keep consistently making trades for Kyle
keep
Pitts on there.
sending
You know what I mean?
them.
Like, his team's not
All
good.
it takes is one day him to accidentally hit accept.
But keep poking till that starts to get hurt real quick.
Grass is green, sky is blue. Rich sent me another trade offer for Kyle Pitts, and it's a day.